Hey, this is Joe Wong, and I'm here with FalleN. He's just won the ESL Pro League Finals. FalleN, how are you doing?
Hello guys, I'm feeling awesome. Couldn't be better.
All right, so let's get straight to it. You're the best team in the world right now, but unlike some other teams like Envious or Fnatic, you guys seem to maybe sometimes have games where you start off at a deficit or even start off strong and then allow a team to come back in the first half. How do you, why do you think that is, first of all?
First, it's very difficult to just outbeat everyone every time.
Sure.
So some maps, it's normal for this to happen. But I don't think you can measure a team's strengthness based on how they overbeat people. I think you can see when they come back from games. So our team is showing every time that we're never a team to give up. We never give up, and even if if it's looking bad, we get some strength and we take some energy and come back in games. So I agree with you. Sometimes we're not on point every time, as other teams have been in the past, but we have other strengths.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about your sort of mental fortitude. Because you've been put in these situations and still persevered. Do you think that that makes for a better team? The ability to sort of be down, say 3, 4, 5 rounds, or even in the case against Liquid, be down 15 rounds in a whole series, and then come back to win the whole thing. Do you think that makes you a better team, or just a different aspect?
I think it's a different aspect, but this show how inside our minds we never give up. I mean, our team is gonna try to win until the end, until they disqualify us. That's what I normally say. So it's a very good aspect from us, and we need to keep it like this. And of course, work for don't get on this, don't get on these situations because it's better to be winning better than
Of
to have
course.
to come back.
Of course. Let's talk about the NA scene. So you guys came, you moved over to the NA scene to play in the ESCA Pro League, and then eventually you guys brought over Tempo Storm. They came over. They're living close to you. How do you think, the in-game leaders in the NA teams specifically? They were saying there was, very little, but you managed to both in-game lead and op and frag very well. What do you think is missing from the NA players that you can bring, I guess?
I think the world would be experienced. They had Shangaris, which is a great leader, so he's playing for Equifox right now, so it's a team that's trying to grind up. They had Dazed, which cannot play anymore, and that's sad about him. Another great leaders they had. Those two are both leaders are new from the past, so they're not playing the top level anymore. So which means new players are trying to step out, but they need more experience, in my opinion. So I think the NA teams need to progress a little on game leading aspect, but it's hard to say who's going to step out and getting better soon. But I don't know. You have Slammy on Cloud9 right now. You have some people on CLG. Rico has tried out for Liquid, trying to get experience in that. So I don't know. Let's see what's gonna be, and I just can't judge why they're not in good shape. I don't know.
So, apart from managing your own team and leading your own team, you also known for sort of fostering the Brazilian scene. One of your I guess strengths is bringing up Games Academy that eventually got picked up by Tempo Storm, and now Winout managed to secure I think another Brazilian team, and they might be bringing them over to NA. Do you think? I mean, what's the overall game plan here? Are you ever going to sort of shift these Brazilian teams back over to Brazil, or is the plan sort of to merge with NA and keep within the NA ecosystem?
Yeah, I think it's not up to us players to choose that. It's up to the scenario actually. So the teams are not leaving Brazil because they want to. It's because they need. It's just as when we left. So Games Academy project, I started it, and it wasn't for having teams. I started to give classes and have
Right.
tournaments, right? So I did that because our scenario was dead. If there wasn't anything to play, so I was trying to keep it alive, keep people interested in playing, getting better players, and then some stuff started happening, and then I had the opportunity to play MLG Aspen later, play
Right.
ESCA first season, and so I don't blame the guys from Brazil for leaving and trying to get better because they have the quality. We're gonna see how Winner is coming. They have some great names from the past. Of course, when you bring old players, as you saw today, RPK is playing off his mind as well.
Right.
RPK was an old player, kind of the same is happening with Neck and Beat right now. So your question is if Brazilian teams are going to go to Brazil on a recent short of time. So I think it's up to the scenario, and it's up to the leagues. It's gonna spots for Brazil. So if leagues add spots for Brazil, then those teams who are now fighting on NA with a lot of good teams, they might think, oh, it's good for me to go back to Brazil because then I can play in the top leagues. It's a better environment for me. So I think sooner or later we need more investment and need more tournaments and spots in South America. I'm gonna keep saying and hinting on that thing, and I think it's gonna happen soon. I hope by the end of the year we'll have something different already.
Right. Yeah, you're a big proponent of sort of bringing up lower teams and giving them opportunities. How do you think a good way for tournaments to organize these qualifiers are? I mean, do you think it would be better to just hold regional qualifiers, so like just for South America, just for NA, or just hold, I guess, a big open one? Because if you go that way, then ping latency becomes an issue. So how many do you then allocate, like specific slots? How would you?
So
decide?
first, the minor for the majors was a great thing already. So this helps a lot. And right now you have a lot of companies doing tournaments. You have ESL, you have DreamHack, you have Faceit. So, I don't know who is with one, but you have a lot of one. MLG, you can mention some others. Definity sometimes. So in my opinion, and that's why I told some guys from ESL and that I had a chance to speak with, if each of them do at least one international event, which ESL is doing already. They created a global for tier 2 chains. So each of them create at least one early, it's going to help the regions that are outside, Asia, South America, Africa. Those guys need spots. I remember back in the days when I played CS 1.6, everyone played entirely year to play WCG, World Cyber Games, because WCG was the event that everyone wanted to go with because they would pay the travels, so you could compete internationally. So I mean, if we have 5, maybe 6 companies doing it, if each one of them think at least one time in a year to do something that includes people, then I think it's a huge step already. They're gonna go out for every 2 months, So I think, and when it comes to have smaller teams, it's very important to keep the ecosystem alive, because this is how CS has been created. If things are getting bigger and bigger, prize pools are going bigger. Now we have Visa. We don't know how it's going to be, but we need to think about how the ecosystem is going to keep alive. Because the guys who are home playing Counter-Strike, they need to understand that they can get here as well. It's up to their talent, and they need to have opportunities. If we start selecting and putting this only for the good things, I think we're breaking a very important thing on our community.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the objective is eventually to get a flow of players, right? Because even if you have top teams and stuff, there comes a point where you might retire, and then what happens if you don't have that growth? Then there becomes a weird gap where you might not have that same level continuing through the game. Let's talk about I guess your in-game leading. So how much exactly do you in-game lead, say, at the start of a terrorist round? Do you call a strat and then let your players do their thing, and then when they give you information, then do you make a mid-round call, or how do you do it?
So I think the best thing on our team is that we try to learn the game together and have some ideas on how the rounds should end accordingly to what's happening.
Right.
So it's not that I leave the base telling them already what to do. Actually, we don't feel comfortable doing that. So we prefer playing a more loose style. But sometimes when I see some gaps, when I see some opportunities, I say, guys, you and me, Code and me, Save Smoke's going to do this in the end. So like overtime now versus G2, guys, slow. We're going to do a execute with Molotovs on B. So we play, they can do whatever they want, but they know in the end of the round they're going to do it. So I think this way it's better to play right now. The Korean meta is better because this way you can punish more if the other guys aggro, and you can use your creativity to get kills. So it's up to the players to know where they can get kills without being killed too much.
Right.
Because the problem with this style is if the players doesn't know what they're doing, they're going to die more than kill.
Right.
And then you have a team that doesn't work. So this is very difficult to put on. And the first team that has put this with extremely quality was Fnatic. So we try. I would say it's kind of the same way, but in the end we have a resource to make some executions as well, with smokes. But it's up to the ideas we have in game, and mainly what I think it would be fit for the exact moment.
Okay, well, we got to wrap up. So do you have any last shout-outs or, anything you want to say to the fans?
Yeah, guys, thanks for tuning. Thanks for following LG. Thanks for following us. Just like to thanks everyone. Thanks for yourself for the great event. Thanks for you for the interview. And next month, I'm going to start doing classes in English. It's going to be on YouTube. So if people want to check out and improve their game, just check on my Twitter, my Facebook page. It's kind of going to be 4 or 5 weekly videos on YouTube. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah, every month we're gonna approach one map. So I hope it helps you becoming better on CS.
All right.